All right, so today we're going to dive into current market trends, take a look at what's happening in the overall aspect of crypto, but really take a look at some of the things that are potentially going to pull us out of this bear market. Now, one of the longest bear markets of record. How long is this hibernation going to last? Today, we're going to break all that down for you. My name is Paul Barron. Welcome back into Tech Path. It's going to be a good one. I think you guys are going to like it today. One of the things that you'll notice is I'm not in studio, okay? I'm at an event trying to do some other projects that we, of course, our business does quite a bit. So don't worry, I'll be back in studio to talk to you guys more and more about what's happening in the crypto space, obviously breaking down a lot of things. I'm going to share my screen with you, kind of give you guys a little bit of an alignment here of what's happening. One of the key things that is really kind of playing into the market is this aspect right here around the September crash potential. So in the article here, we'll break in a little bit here. Macro triggers now are taking a backseat this week with personal consumption expenditures, PCE index data. Now the highlight, it's otherwise what was a cool week for crypto contagion. And remember, last week, Chair Powell pretty much gave the statement out that got into a scenario that I think a lot of people are really concerned with, and that is inflation higher for longer, and of course, interest rates that will potentially continue to edge up. The real question is going to be whether or not we see those interest rates actually start to move toward the end of the year. Love to get your comments. Make sure and drop some comments down below. And if you are not following the channel, make sure and like us and subscribe right now. And I'm going to kind of jump into a few tweets here for you. This is the longest of all the cycles so far. If you look at the chart down here, this shows you the range that we're really nearing, especially when you look around 500 days into the bear market. The last few markets that we've had to deal with, 386, another 204. We had that little 37-day bear market, of course, back in 2020 to 2021. This other tweet right here I'm featuring is just showing you what kind of potentials here are going on with the SEC. The SEC has to respond to 6 different Bitcoin ETF applications. They will have to comment on both BlackRock, Bitwise, Van Eck, Wisdom Tree, and Fidelity and Invesco. Of course, all of that happening before the weekend ahead. So what do you guys think? Bitcoin is, of course, hits on this. Hashkey, this is pretty big news if you think about it. Hashkey to initiate a Bitcoin and Ethereum retail trading in Hong Kong. And if you look at Hong Kong, really one of the trading centers of the East, this move by Hashkey comes after securing crucial regulatory clearances. Obviously, that's kind of where we are in the U.S. Hong Kong now is a front runner in adoption and also legitimizing cryptocurrency trading for retail investors. The decision helps local investors using Hashkey's platform to diversify their portfolios, allocating about 30% of their net assets into the world of digital currencies. Wang, of course, the official of Hashkey, talks about remaining optimistic about their retail venture. The firm also aims to expand user base from 500,000 to 1 million by the end of the year. That would be pretty huge when you think about it. And they could cater to as many as 10 million users by 2025. One of the scenarios that plays into this for me is whether or not we are going to see the future of adoption in the U.S. at that state, meaning would we see the kind of scenario where one Coinbase lawsuit starts to alleviate, or we get some sort of regulatory environment around stable coins and some amount of crypto that could open up some of the spots here. This is really kind of the scenario that is playing out. I think regulation has got to be one of the key factors here to really open up the U.S., much like what happened here with Hashkey in Hong Kong. So I think that in itself is going to be a big part of that. Hong Kong just launched this, of course, compliant exchange Hashkey, now opening MATIC USD and AVAX USD trading pairs. This is only to professionals. And then, of course, ordinary individuals and investors can go with Bitcoin ETH, both on USDT and USDC. So at least that's some sort of movement. And I think this is just the beginning. We are going to be dealing with what I think will be a landslide of retail investors moving into the Hong Kong market. Big one right here, WellsFargo is going to pay a $35 million fine for overcharging millions of dollars to customers. This is still a problem, I think, with general banks, that they continue to do some of these shenanigans out there. And I think it's a scenario that is playing into the potential popularity of crypto in general. Let me play a clip for you real quick. Let's go to this clip real quick. This is kind of a breakdown of the Wells Fargo situation. Listen in.
All right, Wells Fargo customers out there, you should know your bank is experiencing problems once again. The Securities and Exchange Commission says the bank overcharged thousands of investment advisory accounts. The grand total comes out to nearly $27 million in extra fees. Wells Fargo is now paying a penalty and reimbursing affected customers. All of this comes just a day after customers reported problems using their credit cards and the payment app Zelle. They are still working to resolve those problems on top of the new ones.
All right, so as you can see, $27 million extra in fees. The problem with Zelle, this is something we've talked about on the channel before. This is an issue, I think, that continues to plague banks. And it's going to be one of those factors that has to be overcome, because I don't think that the crypto community or the evolving crypto community, especially when we start to see ETFs hit the market, are going to put up with this. So I think that is a factor that has to be overcome by a lot of these banking scenarios. Western Union is now embracing Ripple as the blockchain, and of course XRP, as you guys know, for enhanced money transactions. Now, there's a couple of things within this that are, I think, good news. Their decision to enter the highly stacked cryptocurrency arena underscores its commitment to innovation and adaptability in an ever-changing financial system. Listen, this, my friends, is pure defense. Western Union is going to continue to lose market share in a massive way. They have got to do something to start to change the dynamic of how their business is going to be run and what kind of products they're going to offer. Here's the real question. How are they going to overcome these high fees? Because right now they're competing against some of the best cryptocurrencies in the world who are not transacting high fees. And of course, if you know how to use Western Union, I realize the demographic is a little different, but I think we're going to start to see more and more push, which means lower fees for these kind of money services, whether you're tracking MoneyGram or Western Union. All of these, I think, are going to get more competitive with the space right now. All right, so as you can see here, the Bitcoin chart, not really doing much movement right here on the 4 hour. Let me kind of squeeze that up for you guys. Let's go over there. A little bit of sideways action, as you can see. Currently, Bitcoin as recording is 26.1. I think the real question, again, slightly flat. Ethereum slightly down, but again, pretty much this trading zone that has been in there. And this, I think, is kind of the calm before the storm. The question is really, how long before we start to see these projects start to really get some wings under them? So again, just one of those things that we'll continue to track here. All right, as I said, we're here in a remote studio. Sorry about the problem there. We're going to try to get more coverage to you guys. And of course, there's a lot of news this week. I know a lot of these things are really pointing to these ETFs because this is a big week for that, but also a lot of other macro news set to come out. So make sure and stay tuned right here. If you're not part of the Diamond Circle, make sure and get in right now. So just all you have to do is click that link down below. It'll give you a link. And the cool thing is we do additional podcasts over there, additional TA analysis, and all sorts of updates and research all through the Diamond Circle. If you guys want to follow me, it's out there on Twitter. We'll catch you next time right here on TechPath.